Byron was really the petrolhead of the team. And more often than not, it is him in the black car. It is not Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Byron, he's the Revette. He's the one. Anything big and powerful, Byron liked.
And he'd be sitting in the black car, and he'd just be sitting that, you know, like stationary, and he'd be going, I was thinking, no, this guy's producing the film, and he's sitting there in the car like this. So does he do this all the time? Does he do it every day? Is it a sort of meditation? Or?
George was there at the filming each day, working very hard on achieving the scenes and working with the actors. Whereas there was this other guy who was around there just stirring up the cast and stirring up the crew. And that was Byron. I wondered what the hell this guy did.
George was the approachable one, and Byron was the guy you sort of watched out for. That's how I saw it.
Byron was always a bit out there, and you thought, oh, he's, you know, you didn't quite know what to make of Byron. He was a little bit different.
Byron used to come to my place quite often and sit down, have a coffee, and grab a forensic medical book and thumb through it all the time to look at all the gory pictures, the sort of things that can happen to you from a medical point of view when you've been either shot or stabbed or run over by a truck.
Byron cracked me up. Byron was truly a hoot, and his vision and his kind of like his imagination, and he was an odd guy, but I dug him. First I was like intimidated because he'd just kind of stare at you and be weird. But once you got talking to him, I mean, he was a very funny and warm person. I mean, he was, and he had a lot of vision.
Byron was brash, arrogant, you know, sort of blew his own horn a lot, but he had reason to.
Byron seemed pretty cool in the madness. He could have 4 conversations at once and be on the telephone, you know, as well.
Byron had something about his demeanour that made one want to achieve, to do their best.
Byron was a force of nature. He was a man of few words, but he was truly a man of action.
He was very good, you know, financially, organisationally. He was very, very strong on camera and the technical side of filmmaking. He was very, very strong on sound. He had an uncanny ability with sound. He knew the locations because he grew up in Werribee, so he knew the Yuyangs backwards, so he knew every road. Every day we'd go out and we'd say, okay, this is where we'll do this stunt, this is where we'll shoot, we'd go around that corner. He was the car freak. He said, look, we can do this kind of car, we can afford this. He went and got the guys, he knew the mechanics, he knew how things should look like. It was his whole thing with the blower on the top.
And he agonised over the look of the cars and the bikes, whether the kids who loved action adventure films would respond to those cars. That was of paramount importance to Byron.
We had the exhausts of the cars specifically tuned so that each of them would have their own character when they appeared in the finished film.
He was a very authentic person to produce that film.
We've got some terrific producers in this country. I just wish we had 20 times more, and 20 times more like Byron Kennedy.